What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is February the 28th. I want to give you a pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers, GDP numbers, go over all that. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off, GDP numbers did come in a little bit lower than the forecast. So forecast was 3.3, came in at 3.2. So this is why you do see the futures as slightly red. But even beside the point how much the market ran up over the last couple of days, I feel like some pullback is somewhat justified. So the fact that GDP did come in a little bit lower, I feel like the market's not really reacting to it as it once would have. So that's kind of a positive thing. Hype still very much in the market. You are seeing also fear and greed index at 78. So still the market is going to naturally pull up higher. So today might be buy the dip kind of scenario. And as well at the same time, you are seeing a lot of articles talking on PCE numbers. So that is coming out tomorrow. Some last minute jitters. But aside from that though, let's move into stocks. So right now SOFI, because I do cover it quite a lot under this channel, is slightly down. No news, no SEC filings, nothing like that. It is still above a key pivot point, so that's overall a good thing. Shorts are increasing about 3,000 shares, so not all that much. It does have the new short interest number, so that is 17.3%. I'll break that down for you in a second, but 157.76 million shares overall are being shorted. And the reason why it jumped to 17, so a nice increase, so I'll kind of break this down for you right here. So it did have this crazy jump up, and that is because of this. So 2 times a month, the exchange does report true numbers. So it does, or it looks like it was reported yesterday as of February the 15th. So NASDAQ gives a snapshot of what the true short interest was on February the 15th, on which they did disclose 158.28 million shares being shorted, 17.36% short interest. And so what happens is ortex takes that information and calculates it as of February the 15th to what the true short interest is. And as SOFI has been going up over the last couple of days, I've been pointing out shorts are returning. So this is why on February the 15th it was 17.36, and then right now it is 17.3. So it did go down over the last little bit. So aside from that though, if you are looking at trading SOFI with it at 908 pre-market, just watch for that 928 resistance point to get really above that. At the same time, if there is a lot of fear and a significant pullback, you are going to see market makers really trying to bring SOFI down below 850, and that's just because of options. I've pointed that out time and time again. So moving on though, talking on Lucid, because I do cover this one under my other channel. No actual news. There was a 10K that was submitted after hours yesterday associated to their earnings, so it's not really doing all that much to the stock price. Shorts are actually increasing about 19,000 shares. 28.93% of the free float is being shorted. 254.48 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost of borrow average is 32.36%. But if you are looking at trading Lucid with it at $3.14, it is just between this S1 and the pivot. And as I've done dedicated videos on Lucid, it's just going to be range bound between these 2 points. So again, just take a mental note of that. Beyond Meat. So I've brought up Beyond Meat under this channel as one of my favorite squeeze plays, and they did unveil their earnings yesterday, and it is up 63.3% pre-market. Crazy stuff. But yet shorts don't give two shits, pardon my French, because it is up, or they're increasing 154,000 shares despite it as well being on the threshold list. 37.48% of the free float is being shorted. 23.12 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost of borrow average is 471%. So very high stuff. If you are looking at trading Beyond Meat, some things to watch for. Exactly right now it is on this pivot point of 1245. So 1240 right now, so it's kind of just within this range. If it does get above this pivot point, then yes, it could in theory get to around $19. But for that to happen, you'd need the market to be on your side and have a nice rally. PCE numbers are coming out tomorrow, so that could really help Beyond Meat to push it significantly higher. So those are some points to watch for. Moving on, so this one is BBAI. So oddly enough, this one did have a lot of abnormal volume, and when I did a video yesterday on SoundHound, someone said that they much prefer BBAI. So I've kind of felt that was justified. They did put out a couple 8Ks. One was yesterday, so after hours yesterday, and one was early this morning. And so ultimately, it looks like they are exercising a lot of warrants, and that is clearly just before they actually do their merger, which was approved. So those are the two documents that really came out to push it higher, about 38% yesterday. And aside from all of that fun stuff, it's also piggybacking off of the broader AI hype. So of course, that's kind of a good thing, somewhat. 92,000 shares are being increased by shorts this morning. 19.77% of the free float is being shorted, and 10.12 million shares overall are being shorted. And cost of our average is 23.69%. So all in all, this one could be a squeeze play. You never know. Also on a side note, just to quickly go back over here, this is what they are all about. So you can pause it, read through it, do what you need to do. And as well, while I'm on here, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as press releases, SEC filings, transcripts from previous earnings, plus if you are curious on some of the backing of a company, for instance, if they've ever done a reverse stock split, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium. I do have a 7-day free trial for you in the description below. But moving on though, so with it at $3.58, it is between this pivot and this R1. So 319 is going to be a very strong support that you'll want to watch for it to hold today. And then in theory, assuming the market is ready to propel a lot of AI stocks higher, but with the fear and greed index relatively high, I don't think that's all that hard, but $5.52 will be the next point to watch for. And then last but not least, tickers IFBD. This one's been having a lot of volume, so it is down 11.72%, and shorts right now aren't doing all that much, increasing around 9,000 shares. It is on the threshold list, very low float, so 2.16% of the free float is being shorted, and only 230.87 shares are being shorted. 526.41% of the free float is being shorted, and utilization is 99.84. But if you are looking at trading this though, with it currently at $1.11, it is just between this S3 and this S2. So this company has been lagging very significantly. They actually were on the chopping block, actually I believe still are, and so they were doing a reverse stock split to rectify that. But it does look like this is what is really prompting the sell-off as of late, I guess, because on this, it doesn't have any new SEC filings. The last PR that did come out shows that they are delaying the reverse stock split to March the 4th. So it's kind of just more just ripping off the band-aid, but clearly investors do not like how this is going down. So let me know your thoughts on these companies. What other stocks are you watching? And one final thing, take advantage of this promo as I've been sharing with you. It is only available up until February the 29th. Simply sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.